Hi, my name is Grainge from Elite Outdoor Fitness, and this is a quick video book on how to pack your Bergen. There's two reasons why you would pack your Bergen differently. First one is where you're going around the world, or even really doesn't matter nowadays, does it, whether you're kind of in the Brecon Beacons, Eland Valley, or Sweden. You know, it's really dependent on the kind of the location you're going to, the multi-day events, and what you're preparing for, and so that's fundamentally quite important. Generally, as a general rule, I keep my med pack in my Bergen at the top here. This is my wet weather kit in here. This is my warmers and life-saving kit in there, and then I facilitate like the kit that I need in here that I'm going to be using like every 10 minutes, every hour, or multiple times a day, rather than opening my Bergen up completely. This is a military grade Bergen, and I've added some extras, as you can see on it. Essentially comes with one pouch normally, the two side pouches, and all that good stuff. Everything's dry bagged. I use the Ortlieb kind of thicker, good quality bags for the main compartment, and it comes up to about here so that you can roll it all the way down, ensuring that I keep air inside of it and it's not a vacuum, so that it's almost, when it gets submerged in water, it's pushing air out rather than trying to pull it in like a vacuum does. And everything is double bagged in all of these as well. And everything in all of this outside bit is to facilitate getting yourself squared away, get your admin squared away, getting some top cover over you, and really is all designed for doing stuff where you've got minimum visibility and somebody's spanked in and become injured or something like that. And so if you're covering that basis really to ensure that you could deal with the casualty and minimize the exposure and get them squared away, then you're kind of halfway there really. There's obviously some added extras on here. You can look at places like JJ's in Bergen that can facilitate kind of adding extra fucking Gucci, excuse the language, Gucci bits of kit on your Bergen. You know, the shoulder straps on my Bergen I've kind of like sniper taped with the what do you call it, the sleeping mats and a bit there, because obviously to help with the shoulder strength when I've been doing the heavier, like 125-pound runs for the records and that recently, and it just kind of helps because this is a very old one, and this is like flipping concrete in here now on the shoulder straps. But you can get, so also in turn send it to JJ's and they'll just put new straps on, or extra bits and bobs depending on what you want. They come in two variants, short back and long back, and essentially this is a short back. I've always had a short back. Long backs are probably more for people that are 6 foot and upwards, but even sometimes they have short backs. And they're a little bit wider, and overall I think they're about 135 litres altogether. Now, when I pack it out for racing, it is a little bit different. I kind of keep my med kit in the same place, and I encourage people to do that so that when you're in a drama you can flip the pack and everybody's med kit is in the same place, and your water and your bits and bobs that you're going to be touching for taking for like food and all those bits are there. And then if somebody piles in or you need to get out the elements for whatever reason, then you can kind of get yourself in here, and then once you're undercover or etc., you can take this out. What do I do for racing? It stays the same kind of structure, but the weight is distributed a little bit differently. I take all the heavier stuff out of here and the side pouches, because if you're kind of carrying weight on your lower back or your mid back or whatever, you know, it's the same as like if you were carrying somebody on a fireman's carry and they kind of slid down your back a bit. It wouldn't be very conducive to like being strong, a central kind of level, and good momentum to carry you forward. And so with a Bergen, majority of the weight is essentially here, right at the top of my shoulder, at the back of the Bergen. And I pretty much use like 2 litre water bottles and all that lot at the top here, so that you're not using things like non-usable weight, like weights and all that lot. They're going to slide down and all that good stuff. So get rid of all that shite and get some usable kit, and make sure that, you know, you pack your Bergen out. You know, you've got people turning up for days, and as they're kind of trying to run down hill and I'm trying to increase their capacity at that, the Bergen's jumping around, they haven't got their straps thing in. They haven't like sniper taped their straps on the sides, and it's slapping them in the head, and the weights that they have got are all sliding down, so they've got like 30 kilograms of weights all down one side of their back, and that isn't really going to facilitate a good training session. So I kind of increase my weight as I go up, and certainly when I did my more recent 100-pound half marathon, then most of the weight was right at the top of the Bergen, and no further down than kind of like below where my shoulders lie. And to do that, you need a good structure at the bottom. You need to structure it out at the bottom and pack it in so that it doesn't push out into your lumbar. And certainly, you know, I use a military style sleeping bag. It's a little bit heavier than normal, but I don't do it for like lightweight anymore, because I'm training people. I end up having to go to, you know, 35 pounds and upwards, so I don't mind having the heavier military style rucksack, sorry, should I say sleeping bag, which is taken out of its stuff sack and just, you know, feathered out so it's automatically nice and warm. You don't have to be doing that because you're only going to be using it if you're looking either a casualty or you're a casualty yourself. So very important. I bag it in a Gore-Tex bivvy bag, a good quality kind of military grade one, and then I put that in there. So when you get it out, it's good to go, okay? Everything that you're getting out with the life-saving type of kit, even your puffer jacket and that, it's got everything in its pockets, extra gloves, extra hat, all kind of Gucci'd up and nice and new, and a little bit of food, maybe like a Solomon water squeezer for water and all that lot, so that when you're kind of getting in and all spanks in wrong, you aren't going to be thinking about where your kit is and getting this out. You just put your warm kit on, get in your DOS bag, it's all Gucci'd up and warm and Gore-Texed up and that, and you're going to be in a good safe place, or somebody else's that you're kind of helping out. And that's on anywhere where you are around the world, or even if you're on a course or an event or whatever. And so that's the Bergen overall. I hope that helps, because it essentially is really important to facilitate kind of good movement over the hills. So packing your Bergen out and making sure that it's weighted correctly is really important. Remember, usable kit, you know, it's pretty basic stuff. You know, the water bottles and that, you know, if you're cutting around and you're kind of bitting off more than you can chew, and you're doing a training session that I'm probably getting you, and you're putting a bit too much weight on, or you decide, oh, I'm going to add a little bit more weight, then certainly you can empty the water out then. Or if you come across anybody in the hills, which I have them many a times, and if you spend time in the hills, you probably will as well, then you certainly got extra water and maybe a warm brew or something like that to help that kind of recovery and get mountain rescue out and all that good stuff. So I hope this has helped. It's pretty basic. I mentioned the military style Bergens because the civvy ones kind of don't really work that well. They're not strong enough, they're not rugged enough. It's certainly worth getting one of these. You can get them off the internet cheap. I hope that helps. Happy training, and chat soon.